In the previous videos, we drove from Chicago to Pontiac. Today, the journey on Route 66 in Illinois continues through towns like Chenoa, Lexington, Towanda, Normal, Bloomington, Funks Grove, McLean, Atlanta, Lincoln, Elkhart, Williamsville, and Sherman. There is just so much to see on the Mother Road. All that coming up next. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. We continue on Route 66 through the great state of Illinois. And in this area, we have a town or a roadside attraction literally every 5 minutes or so. Here we are, arriving in Chenoa, and we're just gonna stop here for a few minutes. I'm just gonna park here on the right, taking 3 parking spots. I don't think anybody will mind. The main thing of note here is the Chenoa Historic Pharmacy. Apparently not so historic because it is now your local country financial insurance branch. Which goes to show, none of these things will last forever. Some of them may be preserved, but many others will wither away. How many more of these historical sites will be gone by next year? I have a feeling it is going to be an uphill battle against time. Back on the Mother Road, and here, this section of historic pavement, they have made it into a walking trail of sorts. Maybe you can bike on it too. Pretty cool. We're once again paralleling the interstate. Or is the interstate paralleling us instead? I mean, this was here first, right? We're now arriving in Lexington, and here we have something very cool. They have preserved and repurposed about a mile of the original pavement. They call it Memory Lane. Let's see what this is all about. I believe this is usually just a walking path, but since we're here during the red carpet event, we get to drive it as well. They have all the nostalgic signs. Let me tell you, driving this short section of original road was way cooler than I thought it would be. Let's take a break here at Uncle Vate's on 66, which the building itself is very historic. It used to be a service station back in the day. We're not necessarily hungry right now, but we need to stop, look at the map, get our bearings here. And they have a bike on a stick. The Lexington sign, the shell of an old pickup truck, and the cool mural, and supposedly really good pizza. But we have another roadside attraction in mind. Well, here we have a couple of roadside attractions. Check this out. When was the last time you saw a public phone? And not any phone. It's a rotary phone. Well, it is a fake rotary phone, but... Oh, hello, operator? Yes? Long distance? To Miami? Yeah. Thank you. Check out the instructions. Remove headset. Wait for dial tone. Wait for party to answer. Drop in coin. Alright, there's something else down here that I want to see. A historical marker for Route 66. Construction began in 1926. Here's a Lexington sign, and here we have this elephant made out of car parts. This is called, according to Google, the crazy presidential elephant. It was built by Lexington artist Casey Wells, and he hauled it around the country in 2020 for his riding presidential bid. Scan to learn more. Its official name is American Standard, the elephant on Route 66, and it was built in Chicago with the help of his fellow artist Kyle Riley. It is very ingenious the way an artist can use scrap metal and other stuff to create something like this. Now this, I have no idea what it is or what it means. Well, this was certainly unique. right here in Lexington, Illinois. Yep, Elephant Butte. And here they have a map. Yeah, the Route 66 sign or shield everywhere. Here they have a map of Route 66 through Lexington. The next town, Towanda, is only 7 miles away. At this pace, we're never gonna make it to Missouri. Well, greetings from a town called Towanda. Apparently back in Lexington there was a neon sign that we missed. But then again, you know, you can't see everything. You know, you try. Let's risk our lives here. Here's an original stretch of Route 66, another one. Notice how narrow it was. And behind me, it's what is known as Dead Man's Curve. I believe there's another Dead Man's Curve in New Mexico that we're gonna see later, but you're standing on pavement of the original 66 from 1926. It says Interstate 55 behind us was built in 1977 around here, but this actual pavement was from the 1954 alignment. The original was even narrower than this. So this pavement is really from 1954. Let's check out the Route 66 Parkway, which is this 3.5-mile walking path. And I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but it is there if you have a couple of hours to spare. And there's another sign across the road. Well, here we go, this is it. Well, here we have a map of Route 66. We departed from a little lower than that, Miami, Florida. We drove all the way to Chicago. And we're still like around here-ish. We have a long way to go. Let's check it out. Oh, here we have all the signs to all the different points of interest, like standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. We'll be there in about a month at the rate we're going. This is what is known as the Route 66 Parkway here, and this is a section of the mother road that they've turned into like a walking and biking trail, I guess. I guess that's the original concrete. Here we go. We're about halfway through Illinois at this point. Fred Walk. Needless to say, I'm not gonna walk the whole thing, but just a little bit, just as a symbolic thing, you know, walking. Actually, I should walk on this side, walk on the original concrete. Greetings from Missouri. I guess every state is represented, and yeah, Merrimack Caverns is something we plan to do. Kansas is just a couple of miles. Yeah, here's Topeka, the capital, and yeah, it's like just this little corner of Kansas we're gonna do. Oh, Amelia Earhart from Kansas. The last remnants of Henderson Dairy. This is, by the way, what is known as Dead Man's Curve, and we're gonna drive it now in a few minutes. That's the sign for Dead Man's Curve right there. And I think this is as far as I want to go today, not because I'm tired or anything like that. It's just yeah, it keeps going. There's a couple more interpretive signs. I'm gonna try to zoom in, and then we continue. I want to make it to Normal and Bloomington, maybe catch a little bit of that red carpet corridor event that they're having. I have a feeling there's gonna be a Burma sign, a Burma shave sign at some point coming up here, but I'm not gonna go any further. That's of course Oklahoma right there, and I'm assuming that will be Texas, but I don't have a good enough zoom. But I do. That is Texas. I missed this one on the way here. Here we have some information on Dead Man's Curve. We're now gonna take on the infamous Dead Man's Curve. And I can already see someone was going too fast. It doesn't seem to be that dangerous, but imagine a Model T spinning in the middle of the night, distracted by all these Burma Shave signs. On the right, parallel to us, once again, the Route 66 Parkway. Coming up next, Normal and Bloomington. Here we are, Normal, and we have two things to see here, and the first one is a famous gas station. There it is, the Sprague's Super Service Station, one of the largest, 2 stories high on Route 66. Just like the one in Dwight, this one was also designed to match the architectural style of the neighborhood.
It's a modern used Route 66 attraction with an electric vehicle charger. Let's check this out. This is the Sprague's Super Service Station with its unique architecture here.
The station operated from 1930 to 1976 as a full-service complex with fuel, garage, and cafe. The upstairs was the owner's apartment.
Apparently, at the time, it was one of the largest gas stations on the route, built in the Tudor Revival style. I mean, very cool architecture. It looks something European, if you ask me.
Let's see if we can go inside.
Art on the trail. Pretty cool. Pretty cool old tandem bike here.
Oh, here we have a pretty eclectic collection of items. Art, games, puzzles, souvenirs.
Here we've got the Route 66 interpretive sign.
So far, Illinois has the best signs. Yeah, according to the sign, this is the only 2-story Tudor Revival service station on Route 66. Now we continue on the Mother Road towards Bloomington. But first, we have one more thing to see here in Normal. Even though Joliet is larger by population, Normal has the feel of a larger city with these taller buildings. This is the Normal Theater from 1937. It was the first theater in the region wired for talkies, debuting with a musical with Bing Crosby and Martha Ray. Here on the left, the old McLean County Courthouse, nowadays the museum. And Bloomington definitely has the most big city vibe since, dare I say, Chicago? Let's see if we can find parking in this urban setting. Talking about parking, I think we found it.
Well, here we are. We were able to park on the street. It says 2-hour parking, but except Saturday and Sunday, and today is Saturday, so we should be fine. Let's go see the Lincoln Museum there.
I always wanted to know what's up with Jeep owners and rubber duckies.
Route 66, is it this one or that one? The thing is, this is the current one, and that is the original alignment. Oh, we're certainly getting our kicks today. Check out all these antique cars here.
This is all part of the annual Red Carpet Corridor Festival, and serendipitously, we happen to be here this weekend. Pretty much every town from Joliet to Bloomington is doing some kind of celebration in honor of the Mother Road. We've got some pretty unique vehicles here.
Yep.
Okay, but 2 to 5 today? Yeah. All right, thanks.
This is the main thing we came to see, the Museum of History, which happens to have a Route 66 section.
Well, here we've got a friendly Lincoln statue on Route 66. Let's check it out. Well, cruising with Lincoln. Now, wouldn't it be cool if there was a Lincoln Continental. Oh, it is probably. Cruising with Lincoln on Route 66.
Unfortunately, the Route 66 section is, shall I say, a little underwhelming. Somehow I had high expectations. But we already paid for the whole museum, so let's go quickly through all the exhibits. But I don't really want to spend too much time here. Here's some furniture from Judge David Davis's office, who would eventually be nominated by Abraham Lincoln to the Supreme Court. As we've seen in previous local history museums, it is pretty much the history made by the residents of this particular area. Some of it unknown to most of us who are not from here. It is very well made. It is a history that rhymes with other histories, yet sparkled with the local peculiarities and idiosyncrasies.
This was the courthouse. If you got busted on Route 66, this is where they would book you. That's where they would take your photograph. Am I really 5'10"? Yep.
Oh, this part I like, with all this old equipment. An ashtray sitting on the computer desk. How appropriate. A phone switcher. And, oh, by the way, it is a beautiful building. Here we have the old circuit courtroom. Those look like very uncomfortable chairs for the jury. And these chairs back here feel very anachronistic in this setting. Let's see the view outside through this window. Beer nuts, where have I seen that before? Anyway, let's continue.
Hey man, how you doing? Lincoln, brother.
It seems we're gonna have live street music here soon. Probably because of that red carpet corridor festival. And here we have another mural. And the hot rod. Let's check out the rest of the festival before we continue on the route. Oh, and we have to eat too. It's a pretty good looking downtown. We're going to eat at Luca, Italian-American food, established in 1936, just one block of the 1926 to 1940 alignment. It comes highly recommended. It was completely packed, so we decided to eat at the bar. A glass of Chianti, and this place definitely has that old vibe.
We got some spinach dip here. Look at that.
Yeah, that was a good pizza. Good choice.
Luca good.
Here we go, live music, more or less on the street here. Look at this old building here, and it is not very lively yet, but I'm assuming it will get livelier as the day progresses. Too bad we're not gonna be here to see it. We have a lot more cars now, including this old Volvo. I love these antique car shows, although I'm kind of partial to the 1950s and 1970s. I guess the cars I saw growing up in Havana and the cars I saw in movies as I was growing up too.
This is rare.
Some of these are so well kept.
Well, anyway, Bloomington was pretty fun. I mean, I always enjoy a good car show, and that Luca Italian place, the pizza, was not half bad. And I mean, they are on the moon guide for Route 66. So yeah, the bartender was telling us that they did not pay for that. They didn't even know that they had been featured. But after that book came out, they've had a lot of business. I mean, and they're legit. They've been there for 89 years, you know. They're just 10 years younger than Route 66. Well, let's get in Peli Cruiser and continue southwest. There's a maple farm. There's still a lot to see on the Mother Road today.
But before all that, I need my espresso.
Coffee on the go.
Another place that apparently is not to be missed here is the Beer Nuts store, founded here in Bloomington. But having a full stomach, we totally forgot about it. And what we're gonna try and do is see if we can see David Davis's mansion, although I think it may be too late for that. Maybe we can at least see it from the outside. Oh man, we arrived like a minute too late. Anyway, that's all we can see. Onward we go. We've been trying to follow Route 66 as close as possible going out of town, and we're supposed to make a right here, but that's where the festival is taking place, so we're going to continue straight and find another way out of town. Here we are once again paralleling I-55. Our next destination, Funk's Grove. Here we are, Funk's Grove Maple Syrup, spelled with an I. Another quintessential Route 66 roadside attraction, and apparently the midpoint in the state of Illinois, although Atlanta also claims that title. Isaac Funk, friend and supporter of Abraham Lincoln, bought this land in 1824, and by 1891, his grandson Arthur opened the first commercial maple syrup farm here.
Yep. I like them chairs there. Funk's Grove.
Let's go inside. Let's get some maple syrup.
Funk's Grove on Route 66.
So much to choose from.
The sap is looks and tastes like water when it comes out of the tree. It just has about 2 to 3% sugar in the sap, and then to turn that sap into syrup, we just have to boil it, and that's what this does, is boil.
So we had to do it. We bought some maple syrup, some bourbon flavored maple syrup. So yeah, we got some ice cream and some maple syrup, and we're gonna put the maple syrup in the ice cream as she recommended, and we got some ice cream and some bourbon maple syrup. You saw the barrel there, so oops. I don't think I'm gonna have the whole thing, just a little bit, just to have a taste.
Now arriving in McLean.
Almost.
A train's coming. It's an Amtrak too. Cool. trains are cool. Oh, by the way, nice mural here in McLean.
When it comes to diagonal parking, we just take 2 and we're good.
This is called Arcadia, America's Playable Arcade Museum. And they have 25 of these restored pinball machines. Too bad I was never much of a pinball guy. I was never any good at it. They also have a bunch of video games. Yeah, this is very cool to see. Like being transported a few decades back in time. Some of these even have the original CRT screens. Now that's pretty rare. I wonder what's involved in maintaining them because CRTs do have a limited lifespan. Ooh, Mortal Kombat. I remember that. And it keeps going. Here we even have an air hockey table, but back here they have something even more special, at least to me. An old vinyl jukebox. And presumably it still works. I have to go get a quarter. Oh my god, it's looking for the record. It stopped. It's grabbing the record. I mean, it didn't really start at the beginning, and there's a little bit of wow on Flutter, but the fact that it works at all, it's remarkable. Alright, that was the highlight of my day.
That's awesome. Well, I haven't seen a working vinyl jukebox in decades, if not more. Well, it wouldn't be more than decades, but very cool place. Totally worth a stop. We're gonna stop by the restaurant. It's supposed to be not to be missed, the Dixie Family Restaurant, but we're obviously not hungry. And then we have a boondocking spot. A very cool boondocking spot.
Head south on South Hamilton Street toward Franklin Street, then turn left onto Park Street.
This is the location of what may have been the first truck stop in the country, Dixie Trucker's Home. After the 2009 remodel, only the name remains. We came across the street to the McLean Depot. It was here that the nice gentleman at the visitor center offered to fill up our freshwater tank when I asked him where I might be able to find water. The hospitality on the Mother Road cannot be overstated. The next town is our last destination today, Atlanta, Illinois, population 1649. And we're going to stay at a very special harvest host. It is right here, at this dead end, on historic Route 66 pavement. But before we get set for the night, we're going to explore the town a little bit, see what it looks like. There's supposed to be a giant or two waiting for us. Here we have a giant policeman, Muffler Man. It is the American Giants Museum, which is unfortunately closed today. I'm gonna park here for a few minutes and walk around a little. There it is, located in what seems to be an old Texaco gas station on the 1926 alignment of Route 66, but no, it seems to be a new construction made to look like an old gas station. I see more concrete pads here, so apparently they plan on having more of these giants in the future. They've done a great job having these two antique gas pumps here in the front. This would have been such a good museum to visit, but these things are so hard to time and sometimes they will be closed. Sometimes we may backtrack or wait an extra day, but in this case, I'm afraid we're going to miss this one. Let's just take a peek inside. Let me know if you've been here and if it is worth it, because I'm already thinking of coming back next year for the centennial and just do the highlights we missed.
It is really hard to convey the sense of scale here, but let's just say that I pretty much, my height is this guy's knee, maybe. And yeah, unfortunately the museum is closed and it won't be open until tomorrow, like around 1 p.m. So we're not gonna be able to see it. Now let's check out this other very famous Muffler man here, which, by the way, we're technically not parking. We're just standing here for a few minutes. And here it is, the Bunyan Giant.
This one used to be at the Bunyan hot dog stand in Cicero. I'm just gonna move the RV a few feet farther down the street in order to see the clock tower. The clock is located next to the 1908 library and it currently has no hands, but according to what I read up until recently, it was wound by hand every day. And here we have the official Route 66 mechanic. Let's check out the historic 1903 grain elevator, which was in use until 1975. There's a museum inside, but I bet you it is closed.
This is the engine house number 5. And this is that famous grain elevator.
Last but not least, let's go see the water tower. The red brick building on the corner is the Atlanta Museum, and the one next to it is the Downey Building, the first brick building in Atlanta. Before that, they were all wood.
There it is, the Smiling Tower of Atlanta. It's totally a thing. There's once again that famous grain elevator.
Let's go back to our spot for the night. I have a feeling it is going to be a quiet night. Never mind what I said, we're right next to a railroad track.
Let me tell you the story of Slinky Stove, created by inventor and entrepreneur Eddie Cantelar, and also RVer. Yes, he's an RVer just like us, and he was scratching his own itch. You know, he has a small rig, just like I do, and he couldn't find anything that fit in the storage compartment. So what did he do? He got a pen and paper, and he patented this particular design with the 3 concentric rings. There's no assembly required, and being collapsible, it gives you these 3 positions for grilling, which is great. You can have it at 3 different heights, which makes it so versatile. But that design has another perk. It creates this airflow, it maximizes the airflow technology, so it becomes virtually smokeless. It comes in 3 sizes, a tiny 7-inch, which is better like for a sterno or something like that. There's a 17-inch, which to me is like the sweet spot for an RV of my size. But if you have something bigger and you want to have a little more, there's a 23-inch as well. You know, having a fire pit is a great conversation started at the campground. And, you know, we gather together around the flame and grill some steaks, or even some s'mores, and make lifelong friends. Now, check it out. I'm going to put a link in the video description and a QR code right here if you're watching on TV. And check out Slinky Stove. Well, good morning. This was a great stay. I mean, except for the trains that pass by constantly. But I mean, maybe it woke me up once or twice last night. But I mean, it wasn't that bad. We're gonna see a couple more things here in Atlanta. Unfortunately, the museum doesn't open until 1, and unfortunately, the museums in the next town, Lincoln, they don't open until Tuesday. Today's Sunday. But we're kind of museumed out at this point, so I'm not that upset about that. Let's go into town, take a couple of pictures with the giants, and there's one more giant that we need to see, and the road beckons. We continue on Route 66.
Let's stop here one more time to see if anything is open on this Sunday morning.
Yeah, they've got many of these nostalgic stores here. Cash only and closed. Oh well, yeah, I tried to spend some money here, but everything is closed. We're gonna drive around town and there's one more giant, a female giant.
And with that, we leave Atlanta behind. On to the next town. Pretty good looking town, by the way. Nice Victorian houses. You can tell at some point this was a commercial success. And maybe it still is. And here's Lumi, the Pie Lady Giant.
Here we are, Country Air Restaurant in Atlanta. And here we have another giant. There she is.
These giant ladies are called UniRoyal gulls, and there are many of them around the country as well.
Very cool. This one is called Lumi, the Pie Lady.
Very cool. Atlanta gets extra points for embracing all these giants. Most of these Muffler men and UniRoyal gulls were built by International Fiberglass in Venice, California. And I can guarantee you, these are not the last we'll see on the route. Route 66, not necessarily the smoothest road around here. Here we're going to take the 1926 alignment that goes through Lincoln, Illinois. Our time here will be brief because all the museums are closed on this Sunday. Timing, or lack thereof, is everything. And here we are, downtown Lincoln, population 13,000. We're going to park at the Amtrak station, which is right next to the Tourism Bureau, which is right behind the only thing of note we're gonna be able to see here.
Overnight parking lot. That's good information to have here. Well, greetings from Lincoln, Illinois. We are in Lincoln, in the land of Lincoln. And this is, of course, the Amtrak station. And Illinois is one of the states, I mean, aside from the Northeast, Illinois is one of the states where I've seen the most passenger trains in the United States, believe it or not. That's the railroad station here in downtown. Let me look at my map here, get my bearings. But right next to the railroad station is, this is the Logan County Tourism Bureau, and there's supposed to be a Lincoln statue somewhere around here. It turns out it's not a statue of Lincoln, but it's a statue of a watermelon in Lincoln. Could use a coat of paint. So yeah, this happened in 1853, before Lincoln was president. Lincoln came here, because they were naming the town after him, and he said nothing with the name Lincoln has ever amounted to much. Of course, history would contradict him, and apparently he conducted the christening ceremony with a watermelon. Lincoln picked an appropriate melon and conducted a brief christening ceremony. Hence, the watermelon in Lincoln.
And here we have the historical marker.
Which, by the way, it is Sunday morning, and it is like a ghost town here. Well, let's continue. Wait, don't go!
It didn't even bother to stop.
Oh, I missed the train. No, I didn't, of course, I'm kidding.
Let's get back on Pelicruiser. Here's our next stop.
Here we are. I don't know if this is parking or if it is official parking, but we'll make it parking for the 30 seconds I'm gonna be here. This is the Windmill Museum, which opens only Tuesday through Saturday. Today happens to be Sunday, so it is closed. Here we have the deets. The mill opened in 1929 on the original alignment of Route 66. Well, what do you know? It is the world's largest covered wagon. Although it is not covered right now, which is odd. Here we go.
You may pause for some more information. And there it is. Apparently, the rail splitter got damaged in a storm recently, and they haven't really finished repairing it yet.
There he is, Abe himself. And that's all we're gonna do here in Lincoln, Illinois. We're gonna make it to Springfield today, actually. A little bumpy around here, and the funny thing is, there's a perfectly good interstate, 4-lane interstate right next to us. But we want to do the mother road, right? Route 66. This is what I call commitment. Well, this is Elkhart, population 450. Let's see if there's anything to see here. Except this huge grain elevator here. It's the second Elkhart of our trip.
It is basically a one-block downtown. But in 1938, when this was a thriving place, they got a very famous visitor. Child actress Shirley Temple stopped here for lunch on her way to Springfield. Apparently it was a very big event at the time, and nowadays they have a metal silhouette statue commemorating such a momentous occasion. Before exploring downtown, let's go see something that is a little outside of town. That's it, coming up, the Gillette Memorial Arch. It was commissioned by former Illinois First Lady Emma Gillette Oglesby in 1915 as a memorial to her brother. It links the family estate and the cemetery. Let's turn around so we can see it better. There it is, and they've been trying to tear it down for ages in order to widen the road, but there it remains. Let's go back to downtown.
Well, here's the Welcome Center. Yeah, the Wild Hair Cafe there is supposed to be not to be missed, but we already had a quick breakfast I didn't show you in Lincoln. Let's check out these two murals and we continue.
Yep, Elkhart Station on the Mother Road. Very quiet morning here in Elkhart.
That's it.
Let's check out the other mural.
There it is, the famous Elkhart mural.
I'm no art critic, but I don't know.
Now let's check out the cafe. So yeah, this is Elkhart Station right here.
It is nowadays a nostalgic general store, specializing in Illinois products. Let's check out the Wild Hair Cafe.
And they are open.
Wow, this place is pretty wild, with all these murals painted on the walls.
It's really cool.
It's like we've stepped into the looking glass, or fallen down a very deep rabbit hole, or a wild hair hole in this case. It definitely would have been interesting having lunch here, and I've heard the food is really good too. Definitely very interesting decor. Here next door, we have the store. Eclectic doesn't begin to describe this place.
Very neat place. I kind of wish we hadn't had breakfast in the RV earlier, but we thought everything was gonna be closed on a Sunday. This was not like part of the plan. We just stumbled upon Elkhart here. Let's continue.
We are now arriving in Williamsville, population about 1,500. We're going to stop here briefly at this old service station which, even though it has signs for Texaco, Sinclair, Mobile and Standard, was apparently originally a Shell station. Go figure.
Well, yeah, here we have yet another old school gas station. Let's check it out. Here we got a Texaco sign. Old Coca-Cola machine, and then Sinclair. So is it Texaco or Sinclair? Or is it Mobile Gas? I guess they just got all the signs they could find, right? This is really cool. I love seeing these. And these are not as antique as other ones we've seen, but these are pretty old, probably from the 50s, I don't know. There's nothing to see. These dinosaurs are always cool, and in the areas of the country where we still have Sinclair gasoline, they're very common. I think I've seen Sinclair like in Oregon, I don't know. I've seen Sinclair in some states. I forget where they are now. There's supposed to be a depot here, a railroad depot, so might as well see it. It is closed today, the museum, but we can see the outside, I'm sure. Oh yeah, this is the depot. We have some boxcars here, which are apparently a museum.
Or part of the museum, rather. Let's see the interpretive sign. So many different Route 66 alignments. Let's drive around town a little bit. Next up, we're going to fill up propane and and dump station because we're going to be spending 2 nights in Springfield, dry camping at a harvest host. Let's stop at the local Love's Travel stop so we can kill those 2 birds with 1 stone. The next town would be Sherman, which could almost be considered the outskirts of Springfield. And here, at Carpenter Park, lies an abandoned segment of Route 66, paved in 1922 with a mixture of gravel and cement, and it hasn't been in use since 1936. Now, this is highway history, preserved as a rare remnant of early highway engineering.
And there it is, yeah. 16-foot wide concrete pavement. You can see the original curb. And here's another section. But they have a beautiful park here. Now that I am no longer illegally parked, let's walk. Well, according to the interpretive sign, you can still see the curb. Of course, this original concrete is all cracked, but you're supposed to be able to even see the expansions on the road, like here. This must have been one of those expansions, you know, one of those where when you go a certain speed, it goes ta-ta, ta-ta. Check it out, yeah, the original curb. At the time, this would have been a standard, you know, 2-lane road. Yeah, look at the original expansion right there on the concrete. Am I overdoing it on this Route 66 trip? Do you want to see more or less detail? Let me know, because this is only the first episode. Well, I don't know exactly how I'm going to divide this. I'm assuming Illinois is going to be one long episode. We'll see.
That was extremely optimistic. Illinois is going to end up being 4-hour-long episodes, which I might compile into a very long movie eventually.
Not for real. I think this is as far as I want to go.
Next up, Springfield. But Springfield, being the state capital and having so many attractions and points of interest, I think this city deserves its own standalone video, along with the rest of Illinois. I almost never mention it, but I want to thank all of you who have chosen to support my work either through Patreon or YouTube membership or even PayPal, especially those of you at the executive producer level. Also, check out the website at travelingrobert.com, where you can listen to my music, get merch, all kinds of useful links. You can even subscribe to my newsletter. Well, last but not least, as always, thank you so much for watching. And see you on the road, on the Mother Road.